Millions of people around the globe are using rideshare and delivery companies' services every day. And we all have heard of these news of crimes committed by rideshare drivers and delivery companies' courier guys. But we all have wondered how these incidents are possible in 2021 when these companies are doing thorough background checks for people working for them. These incidents have caused a big doubt on whether or not users can trust the driver behind the wheel is who they say they are, or delivery guys delivering your next iPhone or grocery that you ordered online.
More than a dozen people are accused in a nationwide scheme that involves rideshare companies that many of us use, of course. The FBI says fake accounts were set up using stolen identities. NBC 10's Perry Russum joins us live now from Boston. And Perry, this has apparently been going on for a while now?
Yeah, and prosecutors say this also involved delivery companies. Millions of us use these services, and prosecutors say this has been going on for at least 2 years.
It all started here, when a gang of 11 Brazilian fraudsters conspired to defraud multiple rideshare and delivery companies like Amazon Fresh, Uber and its Eats division, Instacart, Doordash, Postmate, Lyft, and Grubhub rideshare. The scheme involved creating fake driver accounts using stolen identities and renting or selling those accounts. During the pandemic, ride-sharing use plummeted, and online shopping and grocery orders skyrocketed. The fraudsters placed more emphasis on fake courier accounts for the delivery businesses. Gangs modus operandi. To understand this, first, you need to understand how you can register with these companies. You'll certainly need a smartphone, which allows you to connect with paying clients, but that's not all. See the video till the end to understand it completely and how to protect yourself. Following are the minimum requirements you must meet before you can work with rideshare and delivery service companies. You must meet the minimum age requirements to drive or work. For ride-sharing companies, a valid driver's license, car insurance, along with at least 1 year of driving experience is required. For delivery service companies, if someone is not delivering by vehicle, then the insurance and driving experience is not required. You should not have any criminal records or major driving violations. Applicants are required to pass a background check and upload the following documents along with a selfie: official identification, social security number, phone number and an email address, driving license, car insurance and car registration documents, tax identification number, bank details where companies can deposit money, residential address proof, and referral code. The gang's process of scamming companies had 7 stages. The first stage was getting the stolen identities. These criminals bought thousands of stolen identities from the internet. These included names, tax, social security numbers, and copies of their driving licenses. They did all these transactions with cryptocurrencies and partnered up with delivery guys who would ask customers for proof of age and photograph their driver's license while they were delivering alcohol. The second stage was creating modified driving licenses. They bought stolen driving licenses and templates of licenses and then replaced the details on scanned copies of those with that of the stolen identity, and replace the photo in the license with their own photos, or with photos of drivers who bought the fraudulent accounts. They hired a Photoshop professional to modify the licenses so that apps can't detect if the scanned licenses were real or fake. The third stage was registering new drivers with the applications. For registering a new driver, they used new phone numbers, Proton email addresses, stolen identity data obtained in its first stage, along with scanned copies of modified driving licenses from the second stage. For vehicle details, insurance policy, residential address, and bank details, the gang members used their own data. They never paid taxes on the income received, as the tax identification number was stolen. Victims whose identities were stolen paid taxes, even though they never worked for ride-sharing or delivery services companies. The fourth stage was exploiting the driver referral bonus programs. After getting the new account approved, they created hundreds of other accounts and added the referral code among each other. This way, they obtained referral bonuses from the companies, ranging from $500 to $1,500 from each account for finding new drivers. The fifth stage was selling or renting new accounts in the markets. The gang created different WhatsApp, Facebook, and Telegram groups to sell or rent out the new accounts. Generally, clients were individuals who did not otherwise qualify to drive for the rideshare and delivery services because they did not meet minimum qualifications, were not eligible to work, or could not pass a background check. A driver account on a ride-hailing service cost between $250 and $300 per week, while an account at a food delivery site was rented for $150 per week. The gang members usually collected funds in their accounts, withdraw weekly renting commissions, and then send the money to the drivers who rented the fake accounts. The sixth stage was circumventing fraud detection systems and keeping the accounts active. The rideshare and delivery companies utilize various fraud detection systems. For example, companies periodically require drivers to upload selfies to the app, which are compared to the driver's profile and license images. The fraudsters circumvented these systems in multiple ways. First, by editing the images on victims' licenses. Second, by having subjects who use the fraudulent accounts keep a printout of the victim's face with them to use when prompted for a selfie. Third, by editing their own photo onto the victim's license and using GPS spoofing technology to make it appear the selfie they took matched the location of the subject driver when the subject was prompted to upload a selfie. Fourth, by using VPN accounts to change IP addresses while registering new accounts. Fifth, by using automated bots and GPS spoofing technology to increase the income earned. They utilized bots and GPS spoofing applications to cut the line for rides or deliveries, or to make it appear that trips were longer than they actually were in order to obtain increased fares from the companies, and sold this technology to drivers. The seventh stage was cashing out and spreading their business. The gang members had connections to the mafia around the globe. The gangs successfully scammed companies to earn millions of dollars and spread the business to different places. However, this year, these Brazilian nationals were arrested and charged for scamming multiple rideshare and delivery service companies. The Uber security team eventually discovered the scam. The Uber and FBI tracked the group in real time to map out the gang's entire network. The prosecutor handling the case said he couldn't believe it had worked. Scam was so simple. He was surprised that rideshare and delivery companies hadn't spotted it. The companies were all employing drivers without proper background verification. These fraudsters are not using incredible technology. They're just taking a headshot and moving it onto the ID and submitting that photo. I think in 2021, there must be better ways to verify someone's identity. I think companies need to do more. In most of the cases, the same addresses and bank accounts were being used by the fraudsters. That's the kind of anomaly that should have been detected and investigated. Does it make sense that you would have 30 or so people living in one address working for a company and receiving money in the same account? Also, how come these big companies don't have basic facial recognition technology implemented in their platforms when everyone has them in their smartphone? Rideshare and delivery service companies are implementing more checks along with facial recognition technology after this incident. But other gangs are still able to cheat the fraud detection system. So, what can you do to protect yourself? It is very important for people to protect your personal documents and data. In hotels, you can provide a copy of your passport rather than having a stranger scan it. Make black and white copies ahead of your trip. Never post photos of your passport or visa on social media. Don't leave your passport or any other ID lying around in your hotel room when you're not around. Always use strong passwords and use two-factor authentication when offered in websites that require your personal information. If you had a delivery to your house or a rideshare driver who asks for a picture of the front of your ID, that's cause for suspicion. It is good to be mindful when somebody asks for your ID to make sure that they're taking a picture of just the back, not the front. In the ride-sharing app, You see a picture of the driver picking you up. If the driver attempting to pick you up is not the same person that you see in the app, it may be a fake rideshare driver. Do not get in the vehicle and report it via app. It's very important to stay vigilant of all the invisible dangers hiding on the web, as well as the recent breaches in companies that hold personal data across the world. Finding out if someone is using a forged or fraudulent identification in your name may be hard, but can be devastating. This is why you need to take care of your personal data, or else someone else could use your identity to become you. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and support us on Patreon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new video updates.